Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bad Flashes. Today, there feels something wrong. What's wrong? Oh, sorry, it's the mask. I'm used to wearing it. In Morocco, we had to have it like literally all the time. It's like my face is naked. We're getting off topic. In today's episode, we're actually gonna rewind the clock back to 2020. I know. You thought you were over 2020. But like that ex you keep calling, bro, don't do it. Nothing's good gonna come from that. There's so many more cameras out there. We're not quite done with that 2020 shit show. Obviously. And, just like in 2020 fashion, my Morocco trip wouldn't be complete without booze, COVID, and absolutely nothing going according to plan. Sound familiar? Yeah, why would this trip be any different? So buckle up, because this first part of the story is pretty boring. Yeah. Pretty boring. First things first, let's talk about why. As some of you may know, my trained profession, and the one that lets me live that lavish Lambo life, is visual effects supervision. So when someone calls you up and says, pack your bags, you're going to Morocco, no isn't the correct answer. You have no other choice but to say, yes, man. Oh, yes, man. So after a month of multiple COVID testing, and thinking I was going to be leaving in the next 3 days, almost every 3 days, they finally booked my ticket to Morocco. Yay! I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Well, not exactly, but I'll get into that a little later. Now, a trip to Morocco isn't a walk in the park. It's anywhere from 18 to 47 hours flight. Hope they booked you first class tickets. No, not for a visual effects supervisor. Maybe if they knew I had a YouTube channel. I went from LAX to Boston, Boston to Paris, Paris to Casablanca, and for that extra cherry on top and the $5 bonus round, a 3-hour drive to Marrakesh. It's a lot of airports, and a lot of mask wearing, and a lot of me taking the film in and out of my backpack. They're always looking at you like, why you want to do that? What is HP5? It sounds like a drug. Oh, it is, but just not in the way you think it is. But despite COVID being one of the worst things that's happened recently, the best part though, no one was on that international flight. I had the entire back of that jumbo plane to myself. Yes please. A little international travel tip for you. The back of the plane is where it's at. You could usually get some pretty good seats, providing that the flight isn't so full. Air France was so nice. And it had nothing to do with the copious amounts of booze that they shoved down my throat while I was sitting there by myself. Maybe just a little. So, after a day and a half of traveling in the plane, I finally landed in Casablanca Airport. Bags in hand, only to be greeted by production's transportation with a sign with my name on it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Remember, it's 2020. I was waiting there for 2 hours before a 3-hour drive to Marrakesh. By the way, should be noticing a theme. It's consistent. But I have to say the ride to Marrakesh was pretty beautiful. There wasn't a lot to see, but it was still exciting nonetheless. But I do have to say, the hotel that we were sanctioned to was very nice. It was very spacious, the rooms were big, and it was also super dead. Very friendly to evade COVID.
Not bad. I can't say no to this. Oh, a nice little tub. Yeah. I mean, the pool is just right out there. Just walk out. Just walk right out. There's no one out there right now. Maybe I should be out there right now.
Unfortunately, the hotel was kind of far away from the city of Marrakesh, but the biggest detriment to this entire thing was the fact that COVID exists, and we had to stay inside a production bubble. We couldn't risk the cast and crew getting COVID. It's kind of like the movie Bubble Boy. Got uncomfortable in there. So, unfortunately, we were kind of quarantined to this hotel. So, that's the reason I didn't go anywhere at first. Within that first few days, I headed out for a walk, but there was nothing around, so it just really didn't matter. So I gathered up my GW690 and hit the road, only to be stopped by the Moroccan military police. They saw that camera and they were like, damn! You look like a professional, but you can't take any professional photos around here without a permit. Does being a YouTube star count? They laughed and they just sent me on my way. I did find out that's actually where Mick Jagger would party. Yeah, I see why they have big guns around. So on my trip to Morocco, I wanted to bring my lightest cameras. I was also going to have visual effects gear with me, so I didn't want my backpack to get too heavy. So I opted for my newly acquired Fuji GW690 and my trusty Minolta X-700 with a 35mm lens. And as for film, I thought I would kiss. Keep it simple, stupid, and go with the titans of the film industry, Kodak Portra 400 and Ilford's HP5. Now, most days started and ended the same. Me going to breakfast, try to get any information about the day, never came. Then we would hang around all day, maybe walking here, walking there. Then we would drink all night and start all over again. And yeah, that was about it. But Caleb, didn't you go there to work? You're so unprofessional. Well, to that, I have to say, get off my back. You're not my mom. But I did try. Tried hard. Tried very hard, actually. It was just very apparent we weren't gonna shoot anything anytime soon. So instead, we just decided to hang around and play with cute little kittens. They were everywhere. The cutest little kitties you would ever lay your eyes on, pouncing around. Meow, meow, meow. After making both human and kitten friends, and yes, we named them Frank and Frankie and Spots, we gave them a lot of cheese. We found out that the hotel complex was much bigger than we originally thought. There was an entire outdoor shopping center, and past that, a golf course. Guess who's going pro next year? Now, finding the shopping center was a godsend. It gave us something to do other than sitting around a cold-ass pool or, I don't know, sitting alone in our rooms crying over Netflix. Overall, the shopping center was actually closed, barren, no one around, other than one souvenir shop that gained our business. Boy, were they happy to see us. Americans willing to spend money, and yeah, we did.
We're at the souvenir shop again. Mostly because there's nothing else to do at all. There's no one around. It's very interesting. There's just literally no one around. First roll down, baby.
So on a day-to-day basis, we actually never knew what was happening because no information was shared with us. Yep, still no VFX. We're 2 weeks in. To top it all off, 2 of my friends ended up getting COVID. Full room lockdown. And it just so happened to be Thanksgiving. Thanks, 2020.
Walking in some slippers, got some slippers on my feet. I'm walking in some slippers, got some slippers on my feet. I'm walking on my...
Hey, this is the bathroom.
Now what I'm about to say might be a little controversial. I didn't get COVID because I was wearing a mask and sanitizing frequently.
Just got tested for COVID earlier, so that was fun. Spoiler alert, I'm negative, so that's good. It's actually really good.
I was around these friends constantly. The day we found out, I had dinner with them the night before. So, I'm just saying, that's how I managed to stay COVID-free the entire time. We're gonna have a whole Moroccan feast planned out for the crew, so we had to take it in our rooms. That was fun. So, let's just fast forward 5 days because, to be quite frank, I don't remember what happened. Sure, a lot of Queen's Gambit happened, but other than that, what is time?
Another day in paradise.
But this is where things get exciting. After 2 weeks of seeing the inside of one hotel, I was breaking free. Me and another friend had to go to the stages down in Wardrouz, which is south of Marrakesh. The purpose of why we were going? I don't know. But you know what I had to say? Yes, man. Yes, man! I desperately needed to see something different. The only catch was, the trip takes 5 hours, and we would be coming back that next morning. Let's just say I took a lot of photos from inside a moving Sprinter van. But going through the Atlas Mountains was amazing. It was incredible. It was so beautiful. We saw so many small towns on the way through the Atlas Mountains. It just blew my mind.
Tony Joe!
There's a few stops we made along the way to have a coffee, to get a trinket or two, and to eat some of the most amazing Moroccan food ever. The veggie and chicken tagines were to die for. Oh my goodness.
Oh, they